Just rub you on my titties to clean the lens. Hello, folks. Obviously, I've actually got a screen on the back of this, but you're against the shed wall, so I can't see what is in frame. I'm going to film this one. This is Quad Part 4, and I'm filming it on the little Session and the GoPro, which I use for my vlogs and shit when I'm out on the bike and what have you, just to see what the difference is. So let's take you up there. We are on part 4 of the Quad, and in today's episode, will Jim get the Quad started, or will he have a Marty and throw hammers across the floor? I'm going to whip the engine out again. I've got to drain what little fuel I put in the tank of tankage, and whip that engine out, because obviously this requires sorting, but I can do that at my leisure, and I will explain why later. So first things first, get the Quad on the floor of I don't know, let's call it the floor of buggeration, and we'll whip the engine out, get the tank off, whip the engine out, and then we can proceed. And I'm going to be doing part of the filming on this because I want to know what the quality of it is like without the wireless microphone and shite, and I'll do a little bit on that as well, which is what I normally film on. And right, we'll crack on. Quad on the floor, everybody walk the dinosaur.
12 seconds later.
Okay, we've got the tank off, that's draining. That is a little bit of pre-mix with 2-stroke oil on it. I'm right next to the heater. I'm going to have to turn it down a little bit. It's not super cold today. It was -3 here yesterday, which was chuffing cold. Anyway, I've just got this on just to take the edge off. And right now I've got to undo this bracket, which we saw in the last vid, and then what I'm going to do, that releases the top of the engine. I'm going to have to undo the exhaust, and I'm going to undo a lot of hand gestures going on. It's only like 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning, June. This is way too many hand gestures. I'm going to undo the top shock bolt, swing it out of the way, and then I can swing the swing arm out of the way. That will give me some slack in the chain to get it off here. That just saves you having to take oh god, I can never say it, centrifugal clutch off. Now the biggest struggle with this was actually routing the exhaust, because I forgot how it routed basically. So yeah, we're going to drop the exhaust, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop the exhaust there and just loosen it, but leave it where it is, because I can slot the engine in from the side hand gestures when it goes back in again, and I won't have to fanny frig with this. We're going to have to disconnect the wiring obviously, but now all that's holding it on is the top mount and 4 bolts underneath. Drop that chain baby, and she can come out, and our investigations can continue on the Quad of possible wonder. Yes, right. I'll get cracking then. Okay, we're on the other camera now, shaky cam. And I'm going to put you on this little tripod, just so you see down there, just so you can watch me undo some fasteners. Yeah, you lucky people. There's a 10mm nut behind here, and you know, I didn't gorilla tighten a lot of stuff because I sort of expected it to be coming out again. All I wanted to do was just verify it was a verify it would start, and I did get it to bark, and as you've probably seen in the last video, because the flywheel wasn't bolted on it, it spat the woodruff key out. At the minute, I've been unsuccessful getting the bolt out of the crank, drilling it out. But we do have a cure for that, which you will see shortly. Oh shit, sorry, I'm not calling you shortly. Right, a washer's going to fall out in a moment. Here we go. Come on, there we go. Oh no, we caught it. Well done, Jim Bob. And then just to make it easier, I'm going to undo these two and remove that bracket completely, and that just gives us a little bit of wigglage room. Nice. And of course I am going to be in the way of the camera all the time. I'm really surprised actually, because the last video, part 3, Will It Start, that's got something like 490 views at the minute, which for one of my shite productions is I'm quite astonished. You know, normally if I hit something like between 50 to 80 views, I'm quite happy. I'm just quite happy that people watches it. But yeah, this has gone bonkers. It is still quite cold in here, so I am expecting battery electrical things not to be up to full chuff yet. If you don't own one of these cordless ratchets, I do highly recommend it. You know, don't go daft, don't go and spend 300-400 quid down DeWalt or Milwaukee or anything like that. I just got the cheapest one that was on Amazon, comes with 2 batteries, and if they break, throw them away, simple as that. But they save lots of time. Right, that bracket is now sort of free, and what we're going to do now, I'm now going to upend the trike so it sits on its back wheels and the rear subframe, and then we'll be able to get at the exhaust bolts, etc, etc. So that is what I'm going to do.
A few inches later.
Okay, so we're back. I've upended the trike, and I deliberately didn't film myself trying to lift the trike because this little bugger is a lot heavier than what it looks, and if you don't grab it right, you struggle. Because I've noticed, I mean, I'm 53 now, and the trouble is your brain is still convinced you're 20. And when I was 20, when I was 30, when I was 35, whatever, stuff like this, I could just pick it up, throw it about like a rag doll. Or a more modern reference for our middle-aged men, I could pick it up and throw it about like a Thai prostitute. Anyway, but no, now I can't. I struggle. I really do struggle. It's like I went to pick up a 25 kilo bag of cement the other day, and yeah, you know, I could do it, but I couldn't do it with the sprightliness of youth, which is only to be expected. Right, I'm just going to pre-loosen these and then see where we go. So I'm going to stop you for a split second, put you on again, because you're gonna do a montage. Yeah. Okay, cool, in a super cool kind of super cool way, super cool. That engine is now loose, so what I'm going to do is, I think the easiest way to do it, I might be able to, I think I struggled last time to just jangle it around a bit to get it off this front sprocket, and what I found the easiest way to do was to actually just pop the shock, lower the swing arm, stick it on that bit of plankage of woodage, and then so that gives the swing arm room to get out. And as it does so, it obviously reduces the width, height, depth, motherfucker. Anyway, it gives me enough slack to get the chain off easy without having to fight anything. you can leave everything in place. So that is what I'm going to do. So the quadricycle is going to go on the floor again. Yes, there is rhyme and reason to it. I just don't know what it is yet. Good. As you can see, it's rocking about a little bit, but being a quad, it's not as unstable as Britney Spears. Sorry, I mean a motorbike up on a doodah and what have you. There we go. We can now take that top bracket out, and hopefully now that is going to give me enough slack to get this off, because I can move the hand gestures, move the engine about. The exhaust is now free floating, so that's not really, shouldn't get in the way. And what I'm going to do now, we'll get the chain off, pop round the other side, and we're going to undo the main ignition link. And there's only just 2 wires going to the engine, which will be your basically your signal to the coil and the ground. So I will do that, and then we'll be ready to lift the engine out. I've got to undo the top of the carburettor, so I can take the slide out, and then the engine will be free and easy. You may see some fuel spillage, etc., because I haven't emptied the fuel bowl. Basically, it doesn't hold a lot, and I'm going to do that. Jim, why are you waffling? Get on with it. Yeah, I know. Yes, all right then, I'll get on with that. I am going to go to the other side of the motorbike, where I'm going to disconnect the wiring. Stardate 23/24/83 16 miles out of parsec 23. Shut up. Anyway, progress report. Engine is in, only being held on at the moment by the top, loosely by the top bracket, because when I get underneath it, we'll have to do some jiggly wigglage to get the bolt holes to line up. It's a bit like role play with the wife. She pretends to be an old Ford Escort with a leaky sump. You pretend to be a mechanic. Get underneath and have a look. Oh yes. Anyway, the exhaust is all loosey-goosey because I'm going to upend it onto the bar again, get the bottom bolts in, get the exhaust fitted. Then we've got to drop the slide back in the carby tinkle, wire it, plug the wires in, and in theory, chuck some fuel in it. And with any luck, the lovely machine will bark off. Yeah, we'll see. Hello, well yes, I'm glad you enjoyed that section. Yes, I've cheated, I've bought a new engine for £53 delivered from, I think, Redline. I will put the linky winky down in the description. Comes with a stamped engine number, etc. The only thing I'm doing, I've took the original slide out and took the original air filter that it comes off with, because I'm going to have clearance issues with our exhaust. I'm going to put my old slide and shit back in there because it is exactly the same engine and carburation unit, so everything will go together like strawberries and cream. So yeah, that's why I did it. I want this to be safe if the kids are riding it. The slide, etc., was lubricated, so I'm happy that they've pre-lubed the bearings when they've put it together, etc., because the only lubrication these bearings will get is the 2-stroke oil. So I'm happy with that. Let's see if the little bagger will back off. Hello! One difference I did notice is that we have obviously 2 wires on this, our grounding wire and our signal wire. This only has the signal wire, no grounding wire. So I don't know how you would have stopped this engine, because obviously our grounding wire goes to the pickups, the green wire. Oh, hang on. Oh, that was a nice fart. But as you can see, yeah, when it shit the wood rough key, it's buggered the crank. That just needs a bit of fetillage. Get that good again, and it's wallowed that out. So I would have needed a new flywheel, which would have been, you know, like another tenner and what have you. So with getting the new pull start, getting that, you're halfway to a new engine cost wise. You may as well just stick a fucking engine in it. So I'm going to get these bolts out, and I'm going to add our ground wire. So I'm presuming that is for the kill switch, or it's part of our ignition circuit. Some mini bikes and stuff don't have an ignition switch. They're because there's no battery or anything, there's no live electrical circuits, so you can literally just as long as the kill switch is on, run, pull it, and they'll go. But because this has got an ignition switch, which is a good idea, you know, get you used to having an ignition switch and all that lot. I am going to put that wire on, and then we know when it goes on there, it's just going to be wired in the same as the other one. Nice to see. We've got a slightly beefier metal gear in the pull start. That one is plastic. That one is the correct pull start for that flywheel. You see, that's got plastic teeth it engages with. This one is metal on metal ramp, which is a lot stronger. So I'm glad to see that. But now what I'm going to do is swap the green wire over and just attach it to this post here. I'm not going to move the positioning of the coil or alter the air gap or anything like that. It should be good. If I'm gentle, if I go gently with my Bentley, I won't disturb that. And then we've got our kill wire going in. Sweet! Before I put the wire in, I've removed the bolt, and you can see the adjustment that we have there for the air gap. What you do is you just very, very, very lightly slacken the two bolts, stick a bit of card or something in there, and just make sure there's a little air gap between the pickups and the flywheel. You do not want them touching, because it will not work ever. So that is what your adjustment is there. That's why it's an oblong hole. Nice. Okay, boys and girls, that's the kill wire now fitted. No problem, didn't disturb anything. Somebody did PM me about the last video about why I didn't put any oil in the engine, and the answer is quite simple. If you imagine a traditional two-stroke motorcycle engine, this is the engine-y bit with the crank, the pistone and all that lot, but to the side of it you would have the gearbox. And what you're doing when you add oil to one of those engines is you're lubricating the gearbox, not the crankshaft bearings, etc., like you would in a traditional four-stroke. So that is why we're not adding oil. There is no internal gearbox to be lubricated. Yes, never in the history. Shut up. Just a little tip on these little engines. They are all made of the most fragile Chinesium imaginable. It is the most fragile thing on earth, apart from a trans person's ego. So always start to hand thread the bolts. If you get any resistance at all, which can't be overcome by like gentle hand tightening, you are cross threading. And once you've cross threaded one of these, you may as well stick your dick in a slab of butter, because it will grip tighter. You get the idea. Oh, you little bugger. Right, folks, we are nearly ready, I think, for the first inaugural pull of the starter. That engine has fantastic compression, just like myself. So I don't think there's anything more to do than
I've put some fuel in it, just wait for it to go into the carburettor and shit like that. It's got to fill the carb up. I haven't touched the carburettor, so I've no idea if it's preset or what. I've no idea what the idle is set to, but even if I could just get a tiny bark out of it, that is a spark of hope. So I will put you down on the edge of the workbench, and I will go and make a fat oaf of myself pulling the starter. Ignition on, choke on, fuel on. How many do you think? I think 5. Maybe it doesn't need choke. I think we might have a touch too much two-stroke in it, but this is not a big shed, so deleted expletive, it starts. Good. Right, we're ending this video here because obviously we've got to do a little bit of fine tuning. I want to do some chassis work, but that is going to be it for this one. Proof of concept, got the new engine in, she's running. I am way more than happy. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for liking. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. It just helps the algorithm. Yeah, till next time, guys. I will probably come in and do a little bit on it tomorrow and film a little bit, ready for a release midweek. But we'll see. But that is the old engine. But I'm going to still attempt to repair it, put a new flywheel on it, try and get that bleeding bolt out the crank, get that one good. Because, you know, it would do for a play around, won't it? Let's stick it in a pedal Barbie car or something stupid. So anyway, that's the end of it, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for joining us. Ta-da.